Okay, so now that we have learned about solving one-step equations and two-step equations, we're going to put that knowledge together with what we know about the distributive property and combining like terms. So as always, whenever we are being asked to solve an equation, the first thing that we need to do is draw the line. And this separates the left-hand side of the equation from the right-hand side, and it helps keep our work organized and helps make things a lot easier. So we draw the line, we separate left from right, and now we're going to take a look and we see parentheses. And so we know that the first thing we need to do is the distributive property. So we're going to be distributing the 5. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 3, we have to remember that negative, is negative 15. And the negative 7x is not inside the parentheses, and so that value we can just copy down. We also bring down the equal sign, and we bring down the 3 over on the right. So we've distributed, we've removed our parentheses, and now we need to take a look at what we can simplify. And that this line through the equal sign, this line right here through the equal sign, becomes even more important when we're thinking about simplifying. You can only combine values that are on the same side of that line. Think about it like a wall. Unless they're on the same side of the wall, they can't go together. So right now, we take a look on the left, we have 10x and we have negative 7x. Those are like terms. When we add them together, 10 plus negative 7 is positive 3. X. The negative 15, that's the only constant term on the left. There are no other constant terms. So that value, negative 15, we just bring down. And on the right, we must also bring down the 3. So what you'll notice is we distributed, we combined like terms, and now we have a one-step equation that we just solve as we've been doing the last couple days. Okay, so when we draw our line, we can extend it a little bit so we have some space. The x is on the left. I know that that means in my answer the x will be on the left, so I can set up my answer like we've done before. And now if I need to cancel out the negative 15 and I need to cancel out the 3, we're going to be adding the opposite of that negative 15 first. We worry about that process first. Those cancel out. We bring down the 3x. 3 plus 15 is 18. That's 3 times x. Our final step is to cancel out the 3. Divided by 3 on the left. And remember, anything we do on the left, we always have to do the same thing on the right. These cancel out. So we have x alone, which is the goal of this entire process. And then we do 18 divided by 3, and we get our solution is 6. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. We have another equation. So again, we're trying to solve an equation. We know the first step is always we draw our line. And we take a look. It's going to be a little bit more complicated because after we distribute that 3, we're going to have some more terms that need to be combined. So again, first step is always take a look. We see the parentheses. So we know we need to distribute this 3. So 3 times 2m is 6m. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. There are only 2 terms inside those parentheses, so every other term that you see over there on the right, we need to just bring down. Okay, and we bring down the equal sign as well, and we bring down the negative 16 on the left. And so now we need to take a look at all of those 4 terms we see over on the right, and we ask ourselves, do I see any like terms? And the answer is yes. We have 4m and we have 6m, so those 2 will be combined. Those are like terms, same variable, same exponent, so we know they can go together. 4 plus 6 is 10m, and we also have 2 constant terms, negative 3 and positive 7. Negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4. We bring down negative 16 on the left, we bring down our equal sign, and now again, just like in the previous example, we have a 2-step equation. In this one, m is on the right. And so if you recall, wherever the variable is in the beginning, that's where it will be in our answer. So we can set up our solution right now, and then we can begin solving. So if we need to get the m alone, isolating the m, we need to add the opposite of the 4. Those cancel out. Negative 16 plus negative 4 is negative 20. And on the right, we just have to bring down the 10m. The 4's have canceled out. This is 10 times m, so to cancel out that 10, we divide by 10 on both sides. Anything we do on the right, we also have to do on the left. These 10's cancel out. 10 divided by 10 is 1, so we have our m alone. And the final step to get our solution is negative 20 divided by 10 gives us negative 2. So our solution is m equals negative 2. So we have one final example that we're going to take a look at. Again, we're solving an equation. So the first thing that we do is we draw the line. And now if we focus on the parentheses, here are the parentheses. In the past, we've had a number here. In this one, you have to recognize that there's no number touching those parentheses. And we've discussed several times throughout this unit that if you don't see a number there, we know that that number is a 1. And in this example, we have to focus on the sign as well. So the number that we're going to be distributing is negative 1. So negative 1 times 5p is negative 5p. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. The negative 16 we copy down. Our equal sign we copy down. And the negative 15 on the right we also copy down. In front of those parentheses, there was this 3p term. That is not involved in the distributive property, but we can't forget about it. So we also must bring down that 3p. So we've done the distributive property, and now we need to take a look. On the left-hand side, we have 4 terms. We need to take a look and see where the like terms are. So here we have a 3p. Here we have a 5p, but we have to recognize the sign in front of the 5 is minus. So that indicates that the 5 is a negative value. So 3p plus negative 5p is negative 2p. We also have 2 constant terms, negative 5 and negative 16. When we combine those, we get negative 21. And on the right, again, we copy down the negative 15. So again, the situation we have, as we've run into in the previous examples, we do the distributive property, and then we combine like terms. And now what we have is a 2-step equation. Our variable in this one is p, and p is on the left. So it's going to remain on the left in our solution. And now we have to think about what do I need to do to get the p alone. So if we have a negative 21, we're going to add the opposite, plus 21 on the left, plus 21 on the right. Those cancel out. On the left, we copy down the negative 2p. On the right, we have negative 15 plus 21 is positive 6. And our final step, this is negative 2 times p. So we divide by negative 2 on the left, and we divide by negative 2 on the right. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so those cancel out. We have p alone. 6 divided by negative 2, negative 3. So our solution to this equation, after all that work, is p equals negative 3. Okay, and now it's going to be your turn to practice some of these examples.